The public will have an opportunity to pay their final respects during a ceremony at the Naval Memorial and a procession to the U.S. Capitol on Tuesday, which will be followed by the former president lying in state in the Capitol Rotunda on Tuesday evening and Wednesday. And on Thursday, former President Carter's funeral service will be held at the Washington National Cathedral. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Special Agent in Charge, Matt McCool, from the U.S. Secret Service Washington Field Office to discuss the security plans for U.S. Secret Service.
Good morning. I want to thank Chief Pamela Smith of the Metropolitan Police Department, Chief Tom Manger and the Capitol Police, Assistant Director in Charge David Sundberg of the FBI's Washington Field Office, and all of our partners you see up here today. The partnerships within the National Capital Region have never been stronger. Ensuring public safety during high-profile events is truly a team effort. My name is Matt McCool. I am the Special Agent in Charge of the Secret Service's Washington Field Office. We are here today to discuss the public safety plans for the 2025 counting and certification of electoral votes and the state funeral of former President Carter. It was an honor and a privilege to serve President Carter, and the Secret Service joins the nation in mourning his passing. For just over 48 years, our agency stood watch over the late president, who was the longest-standing protectee in the agency's history. In my previous position, I was responsible for the advanced security planning for several of President Carter's peacekeeping missions to the Middle East. Serving the 39th president in this capacity remains among the highlights of my career. In a final act of service, President Carter's detail agents will serve as pallbearers, as they did for former First Lady Rosalind Carter. The Department of Homeland Security has pre-designated state funerals in Washington, D.C. as national special security events. This designation allows the federal government, along with our state and local partners, to use significant resources to implement a comprehensive security plan. The Secret Service authors this security plan and coordinates assets with many of the public safety partners you see here today, and others using a whole-of-government approach. State funerals require notable coordination with our Department of Defense counterparts. Since our agency was authorized to provide these type of security plannings in May of 1998, there have been 80 NSSEs. Over half of those NSSEs have been in the NCR. So the Washington, D.C. area is well-versed in these high-profile events. Still, back-to-back NSSEs are a unique situation. The Secret Service will bring in agents and other specialists from field offices across the country to supplement our staffing. A multitude of seen and unseen security measures will operate in tandem to ensure a comprehensive and seamless security plan comes to fruition. The 2025 counting and certification of electoral votes starts this busy period on Monday, January 6th. This is the first time the NSSE designation has been granted for an election certification. Chief Manger will provide the bulk of the details around securing this event, which will look and feel like a State of the Union address for those who live and work in Washington, D.C. President Carter's funeral ceremony will immediately follow after 3 days of events in Georgia. The late president will arrive at Joint Base Andrews in the afternoon of Tuesday, January 7th. The funeral procession will travel to the Naval Memorial and then to the U.S. Capitol. Chief Smith will offer details on traffic implication and other regional impacts. Meanwhile, I advise everyone that the Secret Service will use drones as part of our comprehensive security plan. Do not be alarmed if you see these assets during the upcoming events or training in the days ahead. President Carter will lay in state in the Capitol on Wednesday, January 8th, and members of Congress and the public will be able to pay their respects. The ceremony will move to the Washington National Cathedral on the morning of Thursday, January 9th for a funeral service before departing that afternoon to Georgia for final internment. As with all NSSEs, the Secret Service will work closely with our partners to keep everyone safe next week. We further aim to minimize disruptions for those living, working, and visiting the NCR to the greatest extent possible. We will provide further details about the upcoming inauguration at a later date. The Secret Service truly appreciates your patience and understanding during this eventful time. Our agents and our partners are working diligently to keep everyone safe. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Chief Manger of the United States Capitol Police.